So let's be honest, there is a ton of volatility that exists in markets right now. So whether it's the geopolitical climate that we're in, it's our stock market, it's the bond market, it has to do with tariffs, taxes, the uncertainty in Washington at the moment. So there's a lot of chaos happening that is causing markets to bounce all over the place. Hi, I'm Danny Brown. I'm the CEO of Myriad Real Estate Group, and today I wanted to talk to you about the advantages of owning real estate in a rough economy. So obviously I have bias because I am a realtor and I'm advising you that real estate is a great investment. Of course I am. I am also a normal person who has a 401k. I have stocks, I have bonds. I am in these markets, and over the last month and a half, my investments have been all over the place, just like yours. It's shitty to watch like your net worth go from a certain point and drop. What is reassuring is that you have this investment. Typically for all of us, we live in it, but it is an investment that is not losing its value at that rate, right? Homes typically, I think there's only been one time in US history where homes lost a substantial amount of value, and that was the GFC in that 2008-2011 timeframe. Outside of that, homes have always appreciated year over year. It's not a sexy investment. It's not a Bitcoin. It's not Nvidia. It's not going to gain 120 some odd % in a couple of days, but it is going to help protect your overall net worth because it's not subject to that same volatility. So we saw Liberation Day last month go into effect, and we saw the stock market just get hammered and lost a ton of value in a very short period of time. It has since kind of clawed its way back from where it was, not a straight line, so a lot of up and down days and just a lot of volatility. The bond market, which is usually relatively calm, was all over the place as well. It dropped down into the high threes, jumped all the way up to the high fours, and now it's right back to probably where it should have been the whole time. But just a lot of volatility. The one thing that we can hang our hat on and does not have that kind of volatility is real estate. Real estate tends to be one of the best investments you can make because it is not subject to the volatility that happens day to day. So when somebody decides to send out a tweet that causes markets to just jump in one direction, housing is very rarely affected by that. If I wanted to, I could take my cell phone right now and I could probably in a couple of minutes sell out of all of my stocks, all of my bonds, and completely liquidate everything. It'd be a stupid move and I'm not going to do it. When it comes to housing, I can't do that. I've got to get a realtor. I've got to take photos. I've got to list it in the MLS. I've got to find a buyer. And then even when I find a buyer, they've got to go through inspections, get an appraisal, and maybe you're closing in 30 days from the day you get an accepted contract. So it takes a lot of time to sell a home. It's hard. Anybody that's sold property, it is a stressful, giant pain in the ass to sell real estate. But the benefit to that it is hard, is that it helps protect the markets from the day-to-day going on in the world, and a lot can happen in that 30 days to 3 to 6 months that it takes to sell your home. And if you could just liquidate your home in a matter of minutes, that market would be all over the place, really volatile, and it just would not be as protected and insulated as it is. And finally, I want to stress, I've said this numerous times, I am not suggesting that you go run out and spend all your money on real estate. There is no timing the market. There's just doing what's right for you. If you're at a point in your life where you're out of space, if you need less space, if you're being transitioned for work, or if you're a first-time home buyer and you just want to be able to purchase a home, when you can afford it, that is the time at which you should make the move and ignore everything else that's kind of going on. Because again, traditionally, owning real estate is a very safe long-term investment. Most people that buy their home do not sell for 7 to 10, even now I think the average is closer to 13 years. So that's a super long time, right? That is multiple presidencies, that is countless number of churn in local politics, congressmen, all of those things. So a lot changes over that time. And even people who purchased at the absolute top of the market right before 2007, 2008, if they held onto their property, they would have more than doubled in terms of that appreciation and return. So again, real estate historically, super safe investment. I am only saying that you should purchase a home, make a move when it makes sense for you, your family, and you can afford to do it. If you have any questions on the housing market, the investing in real estate, whether it's short-term or long-term, definitely leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.